Alright, welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with your host Ted Tokez. Got a nice little voiceover here for you. As we push our way to the front line as usual, we kind of end up out here in this field by ourselves. So we rotate around and try to make our return trip. And as we fall back, we're trying to shoot into that tank that we were rotating. Maybe taking some of the attention without losing too much health so that our team can capitalize on that corner being pinged. And as you can clearly see, the people in the north lines, they're not really very aggressive. So the passive play style is probably going to cost them the win. As you'll notice later on throughout the match, we're going to start getting dominated on probably both sides of the map. Unless them couple tanks that went up the 8-9-0 lines on our team's southeastern push, if they push that corner and they don't, we could end up, a couple enemy tanks off the enemy team and, right back wherever we are, manage to get ourselves, right back at the start of the problem itself is the entirety of the enemies. And look, they won that side, obviously, so we didn't really put up much of a fight, whether it was the couple tanks that pushed into the tunnel ways or pathways, or the Overwatch that shot into them as they were distracted by the couple tanks that took on all them tanks that went that 9-line side. My only real chance here is to help these guys in the north now. I can no longer drive around the middle of the map just trying to keep the spotting active. There's not really much that they're going to do to the emblems I'm keeping lit up, so at this point I'm trying to just rotate within my teammates without going into the enemies too far and getting myself hurt like I am here. As you can see how it happened as I got closer and closer and the enemy's attention changed focus. Here we are driving off a little bit. We got pretty hurt. Clearly backing off a bit so that we don't take as much attention even. But ultimately it doesn't matter because we're all going to die anyways, whether I drive 20 feet away from them in the battlefield to survive or stay that far away from some others, or I stay with them and die with them. It would have been the same outcome. We weren't really going to beat the enemy team at that point. However, you can't give up. Got to keep trying. The enemies, they're not going to give up, especially when it's always, it's always the enemies that are helping each other, huh? It's crazy, You don't get a lot of help from the enemies unless they make a mistake, right? But if you're friendlies, they can do just as much for the enemy as the enemy can do against you. It's crazy. So, the whole team-based component to this game is actually really important. And that's why I say the games went downhill and probably would be dead if it wasn't on this game would be eliminated from the industry if it wasn't on life support. There would be no servers wanting to be paid for them to play. There'd be no community, as there barely is now, They wouldn't be updating it. It's just it'd be a dying game as it is because of the way the players play. They just rather, ruin everybody else's on their own team's game just for them to have what they consider a good game, which is crazy to me. Because they're not even good games. Like, I'm sorry you think carrying your weight or getting 2 kills worth after 10 or more of my teammates are dead. It's not. It's not worth it to me. It might be worth it to you, but that's where we differ. Next match, you can see me stumbling as I drive up to the front lines. I was a little late. You saw me run into the building. I was probably just pressing the auto drive button on my controller to get myself ahead more than I was, because I was coming back to the game soon. But I was probably still typing buttons on a keyboard or something, pressing buttons on my phone or something. Usually I'm editing. Usually I'm editing while I play. There's a nice little rotation. We're not getting too hurt. And we did take a lot of the attention of the enemies there. A little preemptive brakes application right there. And we rotate back around to the back side of this castle, and then we come back into the front. We see a teammate here hoping to see a bullet fly past our screen. Dot. 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 Nope. He ain't built like us, you know what I mean? Whether he was reloading or never reloaded once, they just ain't built like us. I don't know what to tell you people, you know, some people get things done, some people get things done because of other people. Solid teamwork right there with the Overwatch. I managed to get one of the kill ribbons without getting hurt too much. And then we start pushing our tracks forward, driving straight into the enemies. See that big unit across the river? That's where those are the final points of the match. And we're going to try and fast track it over there. You see we use that gas can. Get a nice little speed. Nice little bit of speed. There you go. Alright, we're just about there. Normally I'd have probably fast forwarded that, but that wasn't too bad. Here we are. We're laying into them, wasting a couple shots, obviously, as classic Ted Tokez pulling up with an unloaded clip. You know, a half-empty frickin' stack. Is crazy. Alright, he uses the smoke though. That was a good play right there, because that's going to separate him and the enemies on the top of that hill if there are any. He's got a light tank coming down on him. Boom. Rotations out the wazoo. Yup. Boom. That guy's gone. Alright, one less. He thought he was going to get us before the ending, but no, he picked the wrong target. He should have picked someone with no health or something. Anyways, enough goofing off, you know. Let's get back into the game, because we got a little sidetracked. I'll be honest, that match, we got a little sidetracked, you know. We were feeling the match. I started talking a little reckless, you know. We started pushing buttons. Let's just keep it casual here right quick, all right? So this is the last match here for this one, I believe. Again, it's the Armadillo. As usual, I'm always driving around in that thing. That or the Leopard, the Merkava, the RDF-LT. Those were tanks I was really prioritizing at times. I was trying to learn them after I bought them or got them. And I just don't grind up tanks much anymore. I get on, play certain tanks, play tanks that I like playing. Practice the things I want to practice. Like here you'll see me taking the front line, trying to get them shots in while dodging shots, while keeping some of the attention so that our teammates can actually make an even better front line than the front line I've just created. I start getting tore into right there though. Enemies popping up over that hill, sending missiles. Got the Overwatch trying to drill into me. And I'm just recklessly sitting my light tank up on the top of that hill using a building for cover. Instead of like at least looping around this mountain here and going down there, or you know, something. Because nah, you don't want to sit around in a light tank. You're not doing your job if that's what you're doing. You really don't want to sit around in any tank. Because the more you sit around, the more the enemies are going to not have to sit around. And then guess what? You ain't even got nowhere to go sit around because you done let the enemies sit all around you. But that's why they pick them positions. That's why they'll never move. If they spawned on the other side of the map, they'd have hit up there in the V2 hill, right at the spawn. They'd have never pushed. And that's why when they spawn this side of the map where we did, they'll go up to that hill where they're at. They'll sit there all game, and then they'll sit over there in that line that they're sitting in right now on the western side of the south. They'll sit there all game, right? Because that's what they do. It could be 6v2. They'll sit there. They'll sit there and kill them 2 tanks a day. Not one of them will actually try to progress. And that's why I say they're not built like us. Some of us are trying to push progress. It doesn't matter if progress is going to push us around. We understand that. That's the push and pull of change. But guess what? The more you guys are afraid to even push in when there's still how many ever tanks behind you or even in front of you, it doesn't really matter. You have to learn how to play with your tank. Not have people play with their tanks for you. Not have people figure out how to not even play your tank while playing your tank or play against your tank while you're playing your tank. You figure out how to play your tank. It doesn't matter what tank you have. It could be the crappiest one. It could be the greatest of them. Learn how to play the game, and people won't be upset that this game is as bad as it is, because the game is not bad. You players are bad. Your stats do not fool me. I see how you play regularly. You guys are team killers, not teammates. And that's why I say that they're not built like us. You know, there's a difference between someone who's trying to push progress, knowing it's going to push back, and someone who won't even push the progress of others when it'll help them by default. So, if you ask me, do I really need to, provide evidence that 2 kills worth in 10 of our teammates is not a good game even when we win? I don't want to hear it. You guys, you're Overwatch. I don't understand how you guys went. You don't even have artillery in this Cold War mode, and I've seen more people on the back half of the map. The spawn 50% of the map, the spawn 20% of the map nowadays. I've seen more of you there than ever before. And I could put 12 old matches together against one of your new modern matches in Cold War. It's sad how you guys play this game. And you guys think we're bad because we're dying? No, you guys are getting us killed. And yet again, as you can see, a match where I clearly absolutely did just about nothing, but maybe carried my weight. And I got third top of the, but in reality, it doesn't even, what are you going to do? The team's going to do what they're going to do. You can only do what you can do given what the team's doing and the enemies are doing and your environment and situation itself overall. That's it, So what are you really going to do each game, when they play that way? But that's it for that episode. I love all of you. I hope you guys are having a great time watching this. And if you enjoyed it, maybe give me a thumbs up, man. Let me know that you enjoy me making these.